Picking the right AI model for your project feels like walking into an ice cream shop with 500 flavors and no idea what you actually want. So I spent way too much time analyzing over 250 AI models, so you don't have to waste weeks trying to figure out which one actually fits your needs. Look, here's the thing. A year ago, there were maybe 30 AI models worth knowing about. Now, there are thousands, and most of them are honestly just variations on the same underlying technology. But the differences that do exist matter a lot. The wrong choice can cost you time, money, or just a really frustrating week of your life. So let's break this down into something actually useful. First, you need to know what you're actually trying to do. Sounds obvious, right? But most people skip this step and jump straight to whatever model is trending on Twitter. Don't do that. There are basically 5 categories of AI work. Text generation, which is stuff like writing, summarization, chatbots. Image generation, so creating pictures from descriptions. Code generation, which is AI writing or fixing software. Audio and voice stuff, which includes transcription and voice synthesis. And then multimodal models, which can handle multiple types of input at once. Within each of those categories, models vary wildly in quality, speed, and cost. A model that's perfect for writing marketing copy might be terrible at writing code. A model that's amazing at generating realistic images might be way too expensive if you're running thousands of requests a month. Let's talk text first because that's where most people start. You've got your big heavy hitters. GPT-4 is the gold standard if you need top-tier reasoning and nuance. It's expensive, but it's genuinely the smartest option for complex tasks. Claude is honestly my second pick for a lot of things. It's thoughtful, less prone to hallucinating, and it handles longer documents really well. Gemini is Google's play, and it's actually pretty solid if you're already in the Google ecosystem. But here's what nobody tells you. You don't always need the biggest, smartest model. For a lot of real work, something like Llama 2 or Mistral is genuinely sufficient. They're open source, they're cheap or free, and they're way faster. If you're building something for production and you care about cost, you should absolutely test these first. Then there's the middle tier. Models like GPT 3.5 Turbo, which is the budget version of GPT-4. It's like 80% as smart, but costs a fraction of the price. For most business use cases, that's actually the sweet spot. You're not overpaying for reasoning power you don't need, but you're not compromising on quality either. Image generation is where things get fun. Midjourney is the most popular and honestly still the best for creative, artistic stuff. If you want something that looks like it came from an art director's imagination, Midjourney is your answer. DALL-E 3 is really good at following detailed instructions and understanding text and images. Stable Diffusion is open source and cheap, which makes it great if you're running this locally or at scale. Here's the thing though, image models are getting genuinely better every month. A model that was industry-leading 6 months ago is already showing its age. So if you're choosing an image tool, think about whether the company is actively improving it. Midjourney and DALL-E are both getting regular updates. Stable Diffusion is community-driven. All 3 are solid, but they're evolving at different speeds. Code generation is honestly where AI is most immediately useful for most people. GitHub Copilot is the obvious choice if you're a developer. It's integrated into your editor, it understands your code context, and it actually saves you time. Claude is weirdly good at code too, sometimes better than Copilot for complex architectural questions. And there are specialized options like CodeLlama if you want something open source. Here's a pro tip. For code, you often want a smaller, faster model because you're using it constantly while you're working. You don't have time to wait 30 seconds for a response. So speed and context awareness matter more than raw intelligence. Audio and voice is actually kind of a mess right now because there are so many specialized tools. For transcription, Whisper is basically the standard. It's accurate, it handles multiple languages, and it's open source. For voice synthesis, there's no single clear winner. 11 Labs is popular because the voices sound really natural, but it's not cheap. Google's voice synthesis is solid if you're already using Google Cloud. Microsoft has decent options too. Now let's talk about the actual process of picking. Step 1. Define your requirements as specifically as possible. What's your input? What's your output? How fast does it need to be? What's your budget? What's your volume? These questions matter way more than you think. Step 2. Test multiple models. Seriously, Spend an afternoon running the same prompt or task through 3 or 4 different options. You'll be shocked how different the results are, and what works best for one task might bomb on another. Step 3. Think about cost at scale. A model that costs 2 cents per request sounds cheap until you're running 10,000 requests a month. That's $200 times 12 months. Suddenly you're thinking about this differently. Step 4. Consider maintenance and updates. Is the company actively supporting this model? Is it getting better, or is it basically frozen? Open source models give you more control, but require more work from you. Step 5. Think about integration. Does this model work with your existing tools and workflow? Friction kills projects. If a model requires completely rebuilding your pipeline, it's probably not worth it unless it's dramatically better. Here's what I found after looking at over 250 models. There isn't actually one best model. There's the right model for your specific situation. And most of the time, you don't need the fanciest or most expensive option. You need the one that solves your actual problem at a price you can afford, with a speed that matches your workflow. The models that are winning right now are the ones with good APIs, regular updates, and communities building tools around them. GPT-4, Claude, Midjourney, and Stable Diffusion aren't winning because they're magically perfect. They're winning because they're reliable, they have good documentation, and you can actually build on top of them. One more thing, this is changing constantly. In 6 months, there will be new models. Some of these will be better. Some will just be different. The skill you actually need to develop is knowing how to evaluate and test new models as they come out. Not blindly chasing the latest thing, but actually running your specific task through them and seeing if they're an improvement. So here's my actual advice. Pick something that works for your use case right now. Give it a real test with real work. If it solves your problem, you're done. Don't spend weeks optimizing, but stay curious. Check out new models every couple months. Run your test cases through them. You might find something better. You might find something cheaper, but you won't know until you try. If this helped you figure out which model to actually use, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button because I'm breaking down AI in ways that actually make sense. No hype, just real talk. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.